Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So we got some news. The Washington Commanders will be releasing safety Landon Collins. We're going to talk about that, how much it saves us, was it the right move, and much more. I'll also give you guys an update on the Carson Wentz trade. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm on the road to 7,500 subscribers, so please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And also go ahead and follow my Twitter. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers on there. Now let's get right into the video. Okay, so first we'll start with Landon Collins, and then I'll get into a little bit of a Carson Wentz trade update. So this is from Ian Rappaport. Sources: the Washington Commanders are expected to release star defender, I'm not so sure I would put it that way, but star defender Landon Collins after the two sides did not agree on a restructured contract. Collins will now hit free agency to cash in again. So I bet you Landon Collins' agent sent that to Ian Rappaport for him to tweet out. So, I mean, this move was expected, especially, even before we traded for Carson Wentz. But now that we did trade for Carson Wentz, and, he's eating up $28 million of our cap space, at least for now. We'll see if we restructure that. It was obvious that some type of move with Landon Collins was going to be done, whether it's a restructured contract or a cut. One of those two things was going to happen, and they ended up releasing him, and I honestly think it was the right move. Yes, it would have been cool if we could get a pay cut, but it was going to be hard for Landon Collins to get a ton of playing time this next season, because he's a hybrid kind of linebacker safety, but we like him as a linebacker more. That's how he played well as a linebacker, and he's an outside linebacker. He's not a middle linebacker. He's not a Mike. And, Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb, those guys are outside linebackers. So you usually only have two linebackers on the field together about 40% of the time. I think that's the league average, or might have been the Washington Commanders average. So 40% of the time, that's with just, Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb. If you throw in Landon Collins there, it's going to be hard to get all those guys on the field at the same time, and especially at $16 million a year, that was never going to happen. I think it would have been, had to be less than 10, probably like $8 million a year for Landon Collins for us to be able to, keep him, and we didn't end up, agreeing to a contract restructure. So this move will save us about 6.6. It will save us $6.6 million. The only thing that I am still wondering about is, could it be a post June 1st cut designation? I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it is significantly more cap space for us if we cut him after June 1st. So we would still be able to do it. I just don't know if we will, because we still might need some of the cap space for earlier. But if it was a June 1st cut, we would save a lot more than $6 million, probably more than $10 million. That is something we might get some clarity on, but likely it is just going to be that $6.6 million in cap space, and that definitely does help us. It definitely helps us, because I think we were about like $5 million after the Carson Wentz trade, so that puts us at like $11 million, and there's some other things that we can get done. Like, I think we should extend Eric Flowers, move some of that money down the line. If we do decide to extend Daron Payne, his cap hit will be less, because it's $10 million this year. It'll be, it's not $10 million, but whatever. It'll be less of a cap hit if we do that, in my opinion. So that is something that Washington should consider. I actually do think it is $10 million. So if they want to extend Daron Payne, then his cap will go down. And there's other guys that they can just restructure their contract. Like, a restructure isn't necessarily a pay cut. Washington was asking Landon Collins to take a pay cut, and they were trying to restructure his contract. It didn't work out. There were some reports that, he took a pay cut, but they asked him again. I'm not so sure about that. But, there's ways that you can restructure contracts, give some more money up front where you can save some, cap space, and it's good for the player as well. So I think they will be doing that. So I think, someone like William Jackson is a prime candidate for that, maybe Curtis Samuel as well. Guys that are making $10+ million, it's very easy to, save a few $1 million in cap. It's not going to be bad for the player or really the organization. It's just saving some more cap space, putting a little bit of it down the line. But I think this was the right move. And here's a tweet that I'm just putting it up because I disagree with it. But I know some people here are feeling the same way as Jordan right here. He says, Landon Collins was possibly the most important reason for the defense's ascension toward the back half of the year. Replacing him won't be easy, and we already have a need at linebacker. Well, what I said was, and I put it right here, he was also the reason our defense was awful the first half of the season. He was literally the main reason, because he was playing strong safety and he was playing terrible. And then also, because he was playing strong safety, Cameron Curl was either forced to play free safety, which he was still good at, but not as good as he was at strong safety. And also, he was just playing less. Cameron Curl, the first week of the season, played 39% of the snaps. Yes, Landon Collins definitely was better the second half of the year. He was a lot better. He was a good linebacker, but let's not act like he was an elite linebacker, like he was worth $16 million. No, he wasn't, and he's not even a true linebacker because he's kind of playing that hybrid version. He's still going into coverage more than these other guys, and it's like, I also think that part of the problem is Landon Collins might not have even wanted to play linebacker this year. He probably wants to play safety, and he might only sign with a team that allows him to play safety. I'm not so sure that I think most teams around the league know that he is best at linebacker or a position like that. And, we'll see. Yes, it is a little bit of a loss, but another issue with Landon Collins is the injuries. I mean, he had some injury issues with the Giants, and then he was fine in his first year here, but his second year tears his Achilles, and last year he was dealing with a couple injuries and missed he missed 4 games last year with that foot injury. So, Landon Collins this year, 76 tackles, 3 sacks, but 2 of those were literally because Dak Prescott ran out of bounds, and it was, behind the line of scrimmage, so they give credit to whoever was the closest to him there, so I'm not really going to count that. Had 2 interceptions. He was solid for us this year. He definitely was in the second half of the year, but let's not act like he was some elite player, because he was not. He was solid, and, I don't think linebacker was already a hole, but he was kind of that hybrid player where he wasn't even playing a true linebacker position. We'll have Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb on the outside. We've always needed a middle linebacker. We still do. Landon Collins being cut does not, that has no effect, in my opinion, on our linebacker search. It doesn't at all. But it is a little bit of a loss. But at the end of the day, that signing was, I don't know if it's a disaster, but definitely was not a good signing at all. His first year here, he was okay, but definitely underwhelming. Like, he wasn't worth $16 million a year, especially at that time, where in 2019, $16 million was a lot. 2020 was underwhelming. He was below average as a safety in those first games, and then he tore his Achilles. In 2013, the first 4 games, god awful, and the next few games is okay, and the 4 games after that, he was good. And that's another thing. There's a small sample size of him playing well. We don't know if this was going to continue. But hoping Landon Collins, signs with the team. Hopefully it's not the NFC East, but wherever he goes, I wish him the best of luck. But another, Bruce Allen signing that really didn't work out. And I'm trying to think of it. Are there any major signings from Bruce Allen that are still here? I do not think so. There might be 1 or 2, but for the most part, I do not think so. So also, I want to ask you guys a question. If you guys want me to go in full detail of a Carson Wentz trade breakdown, not only what the terms are, but also the salary cap effect on our team, his teammate reactions to this, and much, much more. But let's go ahead and look at this Carson Wentz trade update. Nothing major, but Washington is receiving a 2022 7th round pick from the Colts as the last part of the Carson Wentz trade that is sending him from the Colts to the Commanders. So, really not that much of a difference, but I guess it's obviously better than nothing. So getting that 7th round pick, it's good, I guess, getting another draft, getting another pick. We can use that for a trade. it's not going to do much. But, we've had some good 7th round picks in the last couple years. Cameron Curl, and then last year we had a couple, somewhat impact players in Shaka Toney, Dax Milne, and William Bradley King. But yeah, it's a small wrinkle in the trade. I am still very interested to see if we are going to restructure Carson Wentz's deal. I think we absolutely should get some cap space this year in order for us to sign him, get him another weapon, get our, fill that hole at the middle linebacker position. Because right now we do not have that much cap space, because you have to think, we have to re-sign our own guys and pay our rookie class this year, and then have money left over for free agency. So I think we can still, I think we can free up about $10 million in cap space without touching Wentz's deal, like extending Eric Flowers and a couple other contract extensions or restructures. I think we can get to like 10, 12, 13 mil. But after that, I think we do need to maybe try to get a restructure done with Carson Wentz. So that is going to do it for today's video. Nothing absolutely major, but a quick update on the Carson Wentz deal, and we are releasing Landon Collins, which was expected, and we still got to get that middle linebacker. We still do, but how many years did Landon Collins play? 3 years, 3 years, and yeah. It just didn't work out like some of us thought it would. We knew we were overpaid when we signed him, but we didn't think it was going to be this bad. But best of luck to Landon Collins. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Let me know any videos you guys want to see in the next few days leading up to free agency. Could be a free agency video, could be any other video you guys want to see. Peace, guys.